Hi folks, Scott Luntagan here. Welcome to my website. And I'm here today to maybe perhaps outline a little bit for you what's in the website so that you get an idea as to what you're about to get into here. It's roughly about 30 pages long if you were to print the whole thing out, and maybe you don't want to read through it all. So I'm going to give you some of the highlights here so that maybe you can even see if you want to continue reading on through it. I've got some rather interesting headlines that you can see here. And maybe you find them somewhat unbelievable, but I am going to address that during this website. But I suppose the main reason what I'd like to address here, there's several reasons why you're here. Something has tweaked your interest to come to my website, and one of them may be what's going on down in the United States and the debacle with the financial markets and the institutions that are happening, and also with around the world. It's happening all around the world and here in Canada as well. You may be somewhat concerned about how this is going to affect you. You may be kind of worried that your payments are too high, or specifically concerned about how it's affecting your life. Maybe your payments are too high on your debts, and there's certain things that you can't do because your payments are too high. Well, I'll be covering that a little bit here today. You may want to learn how to pay off your debts quickly. You're looking at retirement at some time down the road. Maybe it's sooner than what some other people might have in their life. It can be anywhere from 5 to 15 to 20 years down the road. But if you're thinking of retirement and you're staring at a wall of debt, there can be a conflict in your mind as to how you're going to deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to be addressing that here today. You may also want to find out maybe how to retire with a little bit more cash in your bank account. And I'm going to be covering that here as well today. I'm not a financial planner or anything like that. But when you pay off your debts very, very quickly, you're going to see that you're going to have a lot more money to invest in some other areas. Like I said, I have some rather dramatic claims, some headlines here that you may find hard to believe. But believe me, they are this way. When I say $500 to $2,200 a month in your pocket, we have had as high as I think just a couple of weeks ago, about $4,600 a month we reduced one of my clients' payments by. And so when you take some of that money and put it back onto your debts, you can pay it off very quickly. There is this information I will cover with you today as well. I've been in this business for 20 years now, and I have consolidated the debts of over 1,800 families in that period of time, and also in the last, I would say, 5 years that I've been really pushing on how to pay off debts very quickly. When we're looking at a situation where we want to pay off our debts quickly, there are certain techniques that are out there that I've done the research on and found so that you can pay them off very quickly. And I'm going to be covering some of that today as well. I'm the only one in Canada, I'm the only person in Canada, the only company in Canada that has everything under one roof. There's many other people out there talking about debt elimination. There's people out there talking about mortgages and obtaining mortgages to do it. Well, I'm the only one in Canada that has everything under one roof. Now, I am a mortgage broker here in Alberta, but if you're looking to get mortgages, and this is not the purpose of what it is that I'm doing on this website, but if you're looking at getting mortgages, then you can do that. I have affiliates in other provinces that can do that for you that are trained up on my systems. I have some very interesting success stories throughout this website as well. People that have used my systems to reduce their payments and pay off their debts very quickly. And I heartily get you to go ahead and check out into those ones as well. I have one client, for example, that is it's just a written testimonial by him, but I can kind of quickly tell you the story. What they had was a situation where both of them were working, a young couple. They purchased a house, and they put up all their credit cards, lines of credit, all their debts they had used in order to buy all the extras to get the house complete. They, like putting grass in the yard, fence around it, buying furniture, painting, and a whole bunch of things that they wanted to put into it in order to save money on the total cost of the home. Well, they did save on the cost of the home, but what happened was their payments were very high using the various lines of credit and credit cards and loans that they obtained to do so. They also had a couple of car loans as well. The problem was she got into an accident, and when she got into the accident, she couldn't work anymore. So their income was cut almost in half, and all of a sudden it became very, very difficult for them to make payments on their credit cards. In fact, it was so difficult that they decided they had to let go on a couple of debts, and they let go on a couple of loans that she had with her bank that she'd been with for 20 years, and well, wouldn't you know it, they wouldn't help them out, and they started action against them. And so they were in a bit of a bind, and they were considering selling their house. A fairly sad story. They were going to get married soon, and they had to deal with this situation fairly rapidly. So they approached a couple of other brokers and saw what they had to say, but they wanted to see what I had to say. So I went through it and showed them what it is that I had to offer. Well, what I did was I got them a consolidation mortgage that reduced their payments by $1,600 a month, and what we did is we took half of that and took the $800 of that and put it towards eliminating their debts. The secret of how that works, I am going to outline for you on the website here today, but the $800 went towards eliminating their debts, and the other $800 went into their pockets every month. So not only did they reduce their payments by $800 a month, but they indeed were going to be paying off their debts very rapidly. And through the plan that I showed them, they were going to be paying off their debts in 7.9 years. Now, bear in mind that maybe doesn't sound so impressive, but when we're talking about their mortgages, then it becomes something substantial. And this is what was going to happen for them, is they were going to be paying off all their debts, including their mortgages, in 7.9 years. And in this particular case, they were going to be saving about $34,000 in interest overall. So quite a change from what they had before, where they were thinking of selling their property to pay off all the debts, to a position where now they reduced their payments by $800 a month, putting $800 a month into their pocket, and then now paying off all their debts in 7.9 years. This is what it is that I can accomplish for you, and this is what it is that you would like to see accomplished for yourself, wouldn't it? Okay, so I've got several stories like that in here. You know, all this stuff may sound a little bit unbelievable, and quite frankly, it did when I first started investigating this. Years ago, and I'm talking over 20 years ago, I had a bunch of real estate, and long story short, the tenants weren't making payments to me, and I had to make payments off my credit cards. I was working at a job that time as a survey technician, paying me a whopping $1,200 net, mind you, it was $1,200. And so I had to make payments on my credit cards. I quickly ran those credit cards up. I decided to get rid of the properties because they were such a headache for me. And then for 2 years, I was unable to make payments because I got myself into a job that wasn't a job. I got myself into a sales position in mortgage brokering in order to help my position out a little bit. And while I didn't do so well, I only made $6,000 in my first year. So I was going down the toilet rapidly. And I had collectors in Revenue Canada. I had my car towed right out of the lot there. It was a which year was that? 1980 Trans Am, towed right out of my parking lot at the place that I was living at. So I've been through all this stuff, and when I started doing research in order to find out about how to keep this thing from happening to myself again, I started realizing that I can help others as well. So I've done a ton of research, and when I stumbled across some of the information that as a result of, I've made some of these headlines here. I thought it was quite unbelievable at first, but indeed this type of thing happens all the time. And also on this website you're going to see examples of these plans that I've set up for my clients, and you're going to see many, many, many examples of clients who have utilized my services to, number one, reduce their payments, and number two, pay off their debts very, very quickly, and number three, to see how much money that they will have for retirement. And then you'll be able to kind of see yourself in there. Hopefully you'll be in a position where you might want to see it, because I have an offer for you at the end here that you might appreciate. It's a great free offer. And again, there's nothing here for you. I'm not going to try and jam anything down your throat. This is for you to enjoy, and there's some good, hardcore, good information that you can use in order to help eliminate your debts. So by all means, check it out. And also you'll notice I'll have these little audio-visual clips of me going through portions of this website. For those of you who don't maybe like to read so much, you can just kind of scroll on down there through it, and you'll see pictures of, like, clips of the website itself. And you can just click on that, and you'll see me outlining what's going on this particular area of the website, and giving you an audio-visual tour of it, so to speak. So click on those things all the way through, Enjoy my website, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.